like you are still literally learning how to put shingles on your roof, or put a roof over your head, or how to make them stick. You know, because if this is like, it's like you slap the shingles on and then a rain comes and they immediately slide off the roof, and you're like, why can't I get them to stay? And I think with the Page of Books and the Queen of Books, it's really talking to me about a learning curve. It's talking to me about knowledge that you are still in the process of accumulating. It's like you're still learning how to do this, Aries. Because quite literally, you don't yet know. You know, like you don't yet know how to tile a roof or shingle a roof in a way that it will actually hold through seasons and seasons and seasons to come. And so it's okay, you're learning it, but don't abandon yourself in the learning process just because you want to get out of the confusing part or the difficult part, or the part that still feels like a mystery to you. If it feels like a mystery to you, maybe it's because you're still learning about it. The dragon is awake in your life, inside of you. Your desire maybe has returned. Maybe like your drive, you know, like your life force, your vitality, you can feel it again. Like you're willing to get back in the ring and play the game or fight the fight or whatever that is for you. Like you're back. You know, you're going to pursue your desires. You're going to slice open that berry and drink the juice. You're going after it because you've risen up out of the constant change and the constant shakeups that have been this last 2 years, really. But especially this year for you has maybe been very intense, and it's like you've got a new sheet of music that you're working off of, or a new script, a new outlook, a new philosophy around it. And it really comes from being able to more clearly sense that beacon within you, that like larger sense of purpose. Really, like with the Queen of Wands and the Star, it's talking about your inner light coming back on. Could be talking about like a narrow scope of even your environment, you know, like you're so sort of steeped in the heaviness of the place or the environment or the space that you find yourself in. And as soon as you take yourself out of that either like environmental or internal context, everything starts to open up for you. Like the sky's completely clear and things are just really different. You're breathing different air. You're smelling different smells. And you can sense that King of Wands confidence. And catch the winds of the Eight of Wands, that forward momentum. And it's much easier for you to like smell the sweetness in the air and follow that honey trail. Whereas like if the bear stays in its hibernation cave, it's never going to find the honey. It has to leave that space to get the goods. So there could be something here about no longer denying your needs, no longer communicating in a veiled or cloaked way that does not actually address the big giant thing that is happening. Okay, this is no longer leaving breadcrumbs, Cancer. This reading is an invitation to learn how to communicate in a very different way. It's more confrontational, which doesn't mean anger. It means direct. It means actually acknowledging and pointing to the big giant thing instead of alluding to it with this like mystery. tactic. If I drop hints, they will understand what I'm trying to say. No, they will not. And you will continue to be stressed by the fact that they don't. You're gonna look back, you're gonna remember where that headspace can take you and how quick that descent can be. And you're gonna invoke this. You're gonna invoke sanctuary, protection, the ferocity of the lion that says, no, I'm not going back. And I didn't turn into a pillar of salt just because I looked back. But I saw what almost destroyed me and what I had to destroy. Versions of myself I had to destroy. People in my life, experiences, jobs, places, whatever, that I had to sort of, set fire to in order to get myself out of this. I had to lose a petal. It had to be sacrificed for the sake of my whole being. You are building muscle like that, muscle mass. Okay, interesting. When you are building mass, which tells to me about like an expansion of your strength, when your strength and power is growing, you need to eat. Like, it needs a lot of fuel. Your body, your energy, your life, whatever this is that's growing in strength, like you need to feed it in order for it to keep bulking up and keep getting stronger and stronger. And so, like, how are you gonna get fed? Again, if your source is reliant on somebody else, then I have questions, I have questions about the source of that fuel. Remember, 8 of Wands, the thing fueling the momentum. What is the source of your power? Is it in somebody else or is it within you? Why do I historically get myself into dynamics with people who put me in this position, and also take responsibility? I keep putting myself also in this sort of dynamic with a damn bird, wait a second. Whoa. How did I get here again and let that bird, it's like it's how it started, how it's going, right? Like that, you've created a monster by just constantly feeding it and giving it every single frickin' thing that it wants. And now you're the barrel boy. And it's like, shit, how did I end up in this relational dynamic again? And it sort of feels to me like tale as old as time for you, Libra. Like, this is the tale as old as time. And maybe you're starting to realize that it is really, really, really time for that kind of suffering in your relationships to decompose. How to no longer withhold your words, or no longer keep your cards close to your chest. It's teaching you about the levels of communication and clarity and directness and frankness that, honestly, Scorpio, I don't think you have ever really done. That's what this feels like to me, because it feels a little daunting. It feels a little bit like, whoa, you want me to say it like that? And the answer is, yeah. And it's sort of like, do you want it? If so, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to put on the table? to get it, to clinch it, to seal the deal. You have to be willing to put yourself out there way, 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 way more than you ever have, which means you have to release some of the armor of the past. The aloe prevents the unfortunate damage done when you attempt to hug someone that isn't kin. When you attempt to attach yourself to people, situations, environments that just aren't right for you, you will incur damage. It will be painful. 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords. Thank God you've got aloe, you know, like thank God there is something soothing here to help you heal from doing this. What looks like over and over and over again as you begin to unlearn that tendency. And it feels, Sagittarius, like a tendency to absolutely Velcro, attach yourself to the very thing that just like is not what you actually want. Like, why do you do that? You know, like, why do you do that? I know, because it's unconscious for you. It's not conscious. You're not doing it on purpose. But like, whew, hop the fence, leave the desert and cool off in the pool. You know, you're the only one that can really protect that space, because there's a whole lot of things outside of you that are just gonna keep coming. Because Capricorn, you are one of the more capable people in the world, one of the more capable energies and archetypes that we have. You know, like you are the kind of being that could absolutely handle a lot more than a lot of other people can. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. And that's where the pride thing is coming in. So it's like the humility to admit that you need a break, or the humility to admit that you actually need to raise your boundaries and enforce them a little bit better. Because, you know, in the name of self-preservation, whether that is your body, whether that is your time, or your literal physical space, something is actually too much for you to handle. And I think so far it feels like admitting it is the first step, and then enforcing boundaries in order to preserve some of your space within it is the second. There's a negotiation of these roles towards something more flexible, because we are shifting into aces. We're shifting, basically the moon is shifting both ways. This is so queer, okay? You know, like it's shifting both ways. It is, there's no binary here. It's all happening at the same time. It is giving and receiving. It is waxing and waning. It is releasing in order to receive. And it's all happening at the same time. So actually, I feel like foxglove is what happens under the light of the moon. It's like in that shifting space. This is the kind of creature that can exist in that shifting space. And I think that's what you're being called into, to be a little switchy, maybe. I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like to be a little mutable, to soften, to release, to have the conversations that are needed for you to feel safe enough to be a little more malleable, so that when a new sheet of music is put in front of you that you've never played before, you can say, okay, whoa, right? Like I've never played the upright bass. Let me get my hands around that and see what that feels like. I think you've been doing a lot of work underground, in private, under the blanket, under, you know, below the earth, growing deep roots that link and secure your position. But that's all things you can't see happening if you're only looking above the surface. So much maybe of this transformation that you've been experiencing the last few months has been happening where others cannot see it. Maybe even it's felt to you at times like you can't even see it, you know, like, am I really molting? Is this really happening? The answer is yes, and you'll know it because you'll feel more stable than you ever have before. You'll start to feel like you have something to stand on, and that your feet are steady. You know, Pisces is the ocean. And what I'm seeing here is that you're finding solid ground now, maybe for the first time. And that's a huge victory, Six of Wands, the Sun. And that feels good. It feels good to be on land again, is what this feels like.